Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pitch Pass Podcast. This is Brandon here. I will be the only one here doing a solo pod. Brett was a little bit busy today, but that's okay because it is Thursday. It's the season kickoff. It's what all of us have been waiting for all year. But real quick, I'm going to point out my T-shirt I'm wearing. This weekend was also Rick and Morty premiering season 6. It was really nice to watch that happen. I'm mostly just talking about this because I'm not sure about how many people are watching this right now. So now let's actually talk about what we all came here for. Rams-Bills. This game is going to be super exciting. We are going to actually be able to watch live football happen. And we've all been waiting months for it. So let's talk about some of the key matchups going into this game. What is going to decide it? Obviously, Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Diggs is the first key matchup I want to point out here. Stephon Diggs, number one wide receiver for the Bills. Ever since he's gotten to Buffalo, he's been on an absolute tear. Hope if Stephon Diggs can be slowed down by Jalen Ramsey, that offense has to then run through the other wide receivers on this team, which are not very good. I think the wide receivers for the Bills get kind of overhyped outside of Diggs. If you take Diggs away, Gabriel Davis is kind of just a one-trick pony. He can only go deep on passes. He doesn't have a wide route tree. Isaiah McKinney's all right. I think he's fast. But if Stephon Diggs can be taken away, I think the pass rush for the Rams can really get home and wreck this game. That brings up my second key matchup, the defensive line versus Josh Allen as a quarterback. Josh Allen was probably one of the best rushing quarterbacks last year, had a 93.6 PFF grade as a rushing quarterback. And also, ever since he's been in the league, I'm going to look this up real quick so I have the exact number for you. But Josh Allen has been an absolute monster collecting rushing touchdowns. Sorry, my laptop is having a little bit of issues. So Josh Allen in his career has 31 rushing touchdowns, which is absolutely insane if you think that he's only been playing since 2018, which is also the most out of any quarterback in the NFL during that span. So if they can just get home on Josh Allen, try to keep him contained in the pocket, they can really make some damage. They can really do some damage here. So the interior of the offensive line against Aaron Donald is the second key matchup. The first key matchup, Jalen Ramsey versus Stephon Diggs. And honestly, the third and final matchup is going to be Cooper Kupp against Kaiir Elam. Kaiir Elam needs to step up if the Bills defense can be able to hang and actually be able to slow down the Rams. If Cooper Kupp just wrecks this rookie corner all game and goes for like 200 yards, this is going to be a blowout. This is not going to be a close game. That's going to be the key matchup because if they have to double Cooper Kupp all game, then Allen Robinson and the running game with Cam Akers should take over. Now let's go to some bets that I would personally bet on that I hope you guys do as well to make yourself some money. So I personally love alternative spreads. I think it can make you a lot of money, especially if you can know the right ones to pick. So for this game, I took the line for it is Rams plus 2.5 or Bills minus 2.5. So I actually went down, and if you look on FanDuel, Rams plus 3.5, which would protect you against a field goal, is minus 150. That's still pretty good money there. Still pretty good odds compared to just minus 155 for plus 2.5. I'll pay the little bit of a percentage to get that extra point to protect me against a field goal. Next, another one that I really like, since I also pointed out Josh Allen's rushing touchdowns. Anytime TD score, I would absolutely do a parlay using Josh Allen there. Josh Allen on FanDuel is plus 175. Let's say you did one Josh Allen, Dawson Knox, and Cam Akers for anytime TD score. $10 would net you almost 200. And I love the odds of all three of those guys winning that. Personally, I would absolutely take it. I hope that was so shiny you couldn't see any of my information there. But Dawson Knox, Josh Allen, Cam Akers, anytime TD score, I would take it to the bank. Make yourself about $200 there. Another bet that should definitely hit from tonight's game. I feel like a lot of people are going to go the over, thinking it's going to be a shootout like in Kansas City last year. I don't want to touch the over or the under for this game just because week one of NFL seasons, offenses usually aren't clicking completely yet. There's just not a whole lot of chemistry. Defenses are going to play a lot better. So I don't really expect it to be some crazy high-scoring game. So I would honestly, for this game, I would take the under of under 51.5 points just because that's a high point total to get to. So let's also go to the fantasy aspect of this game. I'm staying away from Stephon Diggs because I honestly don't trust any wide receiver that's going against Jalen Ramsey. Gabriel Davis, I'm starting. I do think he should still have a good game with Josh Allen mostly targeting him and Dawson Knox. Start Cam Akers because come on. If you drafted Cam Akers, you drafted him as your RB2. There's no way you're not going to start him in this game. Where Sean McVay is going to want to establish that zone running game to try to establish some easy passing yards and play action. Now, for the Rams, I would still start Cooper Kupp. I think you will feel very comfortable doing that. You have a rookie corner that's going to probably guard him all game. And if he's one-on-one, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be a bad night. It's going to be Kaiir Elam's welcome to the NFL night. Let's see. We still have plenty of time before the game. That's all that I really had in mind to cover. So I guess I'm just going to go more about just talking about both teams in general and where I think both are going to end up on the season. I really think this Rams team is going to have a Super Bowl hangover. I think the loss of Von Miller not really being able to replace him on edge rush as another edge rusher is going to cause that defense to take a step back. I really want to trust Matthew Stafford's arm and his elbow the full season. If he can go the full year, I think Matthew Stafford is going to have another great year like last year where he led the league in EPA per play. Well, Stafford just needs to avoid to really make a big playoff push and avoid that Super Bowl hangover Kyle was talking about. Is he needs to avoid those just terrible plays, disaster plays in the third and fourth quarter to where he just starts throwing up balls or just gets stripped or just does reckless things. Granted, some of the stuff that Matthew Stafford does is pretty cool because he's able to do no-look passes for touchdowns in Super Bowls. Now, if he can clean that up, the sky's the limit. This team could repeat if their offense can play as well as it did, and if they can find an edge rush opposite of Leonard Floyd to replace Von Miller, they could repeat. The floor for this team, for the Rams, I think, is missing out on the playoffs. I don't think they're a terrible team. I just think I think they should make the playoffs just because the NFC isn't very deep in good teams. But if they could miss it. I don't know. Bills, where do I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to end up by the end of this year? I think their peak is AFC Championship game. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Josh Allen. I don't know if it's the coach. I just don't. There's just something about this team that I don't think it's ready to really get to a Super Bowl. And also, I think it's so hard to predict who goes to the Super Bowl every year. Like, who would have thought the Bengals were going to make it last year? No one. No one would have bet the Bengals. I made a bunch of money because I bet the Bengals were in the division. I should have bet them win their conference and made a lot more money. There's a chance that some of my gut says they're not even the best team in their division right now. I honestly think the best team in their division is the Dolphins. With all the additions they made, adding Tyreek Hill, adding Teron Armstead, like this is a very good Dolphins team in their division now. It was a lot easier for the Bills before they added Mike McDaniels over there too. Like before they had a competent offensive coach. Brian Flores is a great defensive coach, but not a good offensive coach. But I don't think the Bills can make it to the Super Bowl. I think that the Chargers or the Ravens to win this year. I think the Bills max out at AFC conference. And I think there's no way they don't make the playoffs, though. The Bills, there's just too much talent. Josh Allen is still uber talented. Top 5 quarterback in the NFL. There's no way that he doesn't make it. Let's see. A lot of people have their picks in. My personal pick is I'm taking the Rams. Like I said, I took them with an alternative for a plus 3.5. I would even take a money line for this game. Pardon me. I think they just match up really well with what the Bills have. I don't think they have an interior offensive lineman that can guard Aaron Donald, and they don't have any corners that can hang with Cooper Kupp. It really hurts them that Tre'Davious White is missing this game, because if they had Tre'Davious White, this would be I would feel much different about the outcome of this game. Corner just can make or break you. In today's NFL, it is a weakest link league in the back seven. That's why linebackers usually get targeted a lot, but if they find a weak spot, they're gonna try to ISO guys up. And they're going to try to put their best wide receiver on you and take advantage. So look for Kaiir Elam to be on an island against Cooper Kupp a lot. Look for Cooper Kupp to also end up in the slot a lot during this game. Hopefully, for the Bills' sake, Micah Hyde is shadowing whoever he is. I feel terrified for all the people who took the Bills minus 2.5 for this game and put a lot of money down. Hopefully, you didn't put too much money down, because I really think you're going to lose, but that's okay. So now we're at about 8:08. We have about 12 minutes before the game starts, and I'm so excited for this NFL season. My preseason prediction for the Super Bowl is Chargers 49ers. I think the 49ers actually end up winning this year. I am a Trey Lance truther to the max, like it even says in my Twitter profile. Yeah, and man, thank you everybody who watches this video and for coming to the live stream. I will see everyone at halftime. All right, this has been Pish Pass live stream. Peace out.